Just days after the Supreme Court legalized discrimination against the LGBTQ community, the owner of a Michigan hair salon announced that she will no longer service members of that community. So now, Christine Geiger, the owner of Studio 8 Hair Lab in Traverse City, Michigan, said that she is exercising what she considers her free speech to discriminate against LGBTQ people, specifically trans people, and members of the queer community. What did they ever do to you? What did any of these people do to you? Well, nothing. But here's what she said. Quote, if a human identifies as anything other than a man/woman, please seek services at a local pet groomer. Geiger wrote in a Facebook post. Jesus, you are not welcome at the salon, period. So let me just tell you first. We told you so. We told you this is exactly what was going to happen. The people that are like, oh, you lefties, you're freaking out about this. Nobody's going to really, use this to discriminate against people. You're just making it up. No. This is exactly what they wanted to do. This is what they were trying to do. And this is what they're doing. 100%. And they start off, of course, and notice how they dehumanize people. Again, telling you, oh, if you use pronouns other than man, if you use pronouns at all, you're not welcome. Go to the dog groomer. Literally comparing trans people to animals. I mean, that's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Horrible person. Just horrible. But she swears, I'm not homophobic or anything like that. No. In a comment in the community Facebook group, Geiger said, quote, I have no issue with LGB. It's the TQ plus that I'm not going to support. She goes on to say horrible things, horrible untrue things. For example, quote, for those who don't know what the plus is for, it is for MAP, minor attracted person, aka pedophile. No, that's not what that stands for. Plus basically includes asexual, intersex people, and people who are questioning their identity, who don't know gender queer, gender fluid, things like that. It has nothing to do with pedophiles. You're just lying about this. The LGBTQI+ community has never encouraged or supported pedophilia. She is 100% lying. Again, horrible person. Lying. But, and by the way, she is a bigot. 100%. Now, the vast majority of child predators, by the way, pedophiles, are actually straight cis men. So let's just get that straight. 100%. Okay? Now, she also wrote this. I'm admitting that since I am not willing to play the pronoun game, I didn't know it was a game. I didn't know that actually, referring to people in a respectful way is the pronoun game. Although it must be a game to you, and you must be very, very comfortable in your life to think that this is a big problem. And to think that it's okay to alienate potential customers because you're not comfortable with them. But she says, I'm not willing to play the pronoun game or cater to requests outside of what I perceive as normal. This probably isn't the best option for that type of client. She says, if you're gonna, well, okay, again, pronouns, right? So obviously the first thing she's got to mention is pronouns. If you're not going to use pronouns, you're going to have a really hard time with the English language, That said, the backlash here on this was swift. A lot of people in the comments telling it basically like it is, that she is bigoted, that she's being incredibly transphobic, discriminatory, etc., etc., etc. And despite her saying that she's more than willing to take the first rounds of strikebacks in order to galvanize others to bark back, that's her own words, bark back, after she had just dehumanized transgender people, compared them to animals. She decided, ooh, it's a little too hot in here now, and deleted the salon's Facebook page and sent their Instagram page to private. Oh, what's the matter? You can't take the heat? I know. She's probably going to now blame the
woke mob.
It's the woke mob. They came for me. I thought you were ready to, deal with criticism. What happened? Now you're upset. Now you can't handle the heat. You can't take the smoke. Oh, maybe you shouldn't have lit the fire. Would have been so much easier to just keep giving people haircuts and taking their money. But no, you had to be a little crying bitch about it. And now you're here. Did it to yourself. Now, her biography, by the way, read, a private conservative business that does not cater to woke ideologies. Yes.
Woke.
The wokers. How dare those woke people with their pronouns try to exist in society by getting haircuts? I mean, look, this is where it starts, okay? Obviously we know that it's not required to go to a place to get a haircut. Obviously, I mean, maybe I'm not the expert on hair. Gotta be fair about that. But I do know something about discrimination and how it starts. And this is where it starts. Services like this. Then it starts to spread. What happens when restaurants start doing it? What happens when grocery stores, gas stations, and then it spreads to doctors' offices? I mean, this is the point of all of this stuff. To freeze people out of society, in this case based on gender identity, but we've seen it happen before. We've seen it happen with race. This is how it starts, and it generally takes you down a pretty bad road. But understand that this was never just about bathrooms. It was never just about gay wedding cakes. It was never about gay wedding websites, which again, that entire Supreme Court case wasn't even based on any gay wedding. It was based on a hypothetical, and the people that were cited in the case were not actually a gay couple at all. It was a straight person. It didn't matter though. It was a weird hypothetical that she just, the person who filed this lawsuit grabbed out of nowhere and said, well, just the fact that I might have to maybe in the future make a wedding website for a gay couple, that makes me very uncomfortable. It hurts my fifis, and I'm very, very unhappy with this possibility. And I'm just not even going to get into the business. And so, I'm just going to try and deny people's rights so that I can maybe make a wedding website and make a few bucks, but don't have to service those terrible gays. That's what she's about. And that's what this is all about. I do not see this as any different than putting up a no blacks or no Jews sign in your windows. You don't think that, that's happened before. That's why we have laws against discrimination. Because there are people that, if given a chance, will discriminate for ridiculous reasons. And now, thanks to the Supreme Court, it's legal. They can do that. Look, here's the thing. Trans people have always existed. They always will exist, no matter how hard you try to clamp down in their existence. Because at the end of the day, it's not a choice. Their identity is not a choice. We don't choose to be cis. We don't choose to be trans. It happens. And you could force them all day to hide who they are on the outside, and it doesn't change who they are on the inside. You can't take the trans out of people. The only thing you're doing is forcing them to lie for your comfort and your convenience, when it literally has no negative effects on your life whatsoever. Never at all. Bigots, understand, bigots are selfish. They're selfish, scared, pathetic, small people. Small brains. Can't seem to understand very, very simple concepts of, hey, let people be people. Let people live their lives. Now, one more thing that I want to point out, specifically about Geiger. A lot of these transphobes think, well, we're just out there protecting the children. You don't understand. We're protecting the children from dangerous pedophiles and mutilation and forced transition, which, again, none of this is happening. Okay? But she says we're protecting the children, and yet this woman particularly has a history of putting other people, specifically children, potentially in danger. How so? Well, she appears to be making some personal choices that put people in danger. In 2009, that same hair salon owner was charged with a third offense, drunk driving, and second offense, operating a vehicle with a suspended license charge. Her records had shown her driving drunk twice the previous year. So she gets blitzed and then jumps behind the wheel. You don't think that's a danger to children? In 2021, 13,384 people died in drunk driving related accidents. When it comes to children, in 2021, that same year, more than 230 children were killed in drunk driving accidents. Now, you choose to take a drink and get behind the wheel. And when you do that, that can definitely harm children and even mutilate them when they get into car accidents. And by the way, look, since she's a conservative and was probably very, very pro Second Amendment, oh, look, hey, I'm fine with Second Amendment. But you know what? One very negative thing about that, negative consequence of having so many guns is that guns kill a lot of children. In fact, guns are the leading cause of death for U.S. children and teens. It actually surpassed car accidents in 2020. Now, you have, again, guns. You have car accidents. You have drunk driving. All harming and killing children. But how many children are trans people killing? How many people have died as a result of an LGBTQ person getting a freaking haircut? Can't really cite any because it's not real. It's not a real problem that exists in our society. Trans people existing. Whereas, again, drunk drivers, like this incredibly irresponsible bigot, they are harming children. They are harming people. This is all about their own selfish fears and a desire to virtue signal to their conservative friends that have suddenly decided, literally for no reason, that trans people are a threat.